ये देखिए आपके सामने आ गया है मार्केट स्ट्रक्चर, दिख रहा है मैम? होप यू सी दिस।
यस सर।
ठीक है, तो इट्स अ फ्लैट स्ट्रक्चर, कहीं जा नहीं रहा। आई थिंक इट्स ट्राइंग टू ब्रेक 25,600। एक्चुअल रेजिस्टेंस इज अबाउट 750 800, एक लेवल है। ये देखिए, डबल उसको ढक के कीजिएगा जस्ट। नहीं अभी तो पानी उड़ा है। सो this is what the market structure looks like. You can also, और काफी अच्छी अच्छी वीडियोस बना दी है मैम, सो प्लीज फाइंड टाइम, क्योंकि आप फिर
या I'm seeing the videos in breaks, but yes, I am seeing.
उसे क्या होगा, you'll be able to send us practical examples, है ना, कि ऐसा दिख रहा है इसमें, then the discussion, real discussion will start. Now I put this on this chart, as you can see. This is the this thing,
ये
right?
लाइन चार्ट है ना सर?
Which one?
ये जो चार्ट आपने
Yeah, this is a line.
शेयर किया है, दिस इज अ लाइन चार्ट, राइट?
This is a line chart. Yes. This is line chart. So you also take an assessment line chart. More or less, it is not moving anywhere. It's in a zone, जैसा कि आप देख पा रहे हैं। कहीं ये move नहीं कर रहा. That's point number one. Second is something that I want to emphasize. We have already made how to use Gann Fan. उसको जरूर देखिए। Gann Fan कैसे होता है? बहुत लोग बहुत ज्ञान देते हैं, but that's all crap. सब हमने टेस्ट करके देख लिए, नहीं चलता। इसलिए कभी भी किसी
हम्म।
चीज को मत बिना मतलब सोचे समझे अडॉप्ट की। So what I'm gonna do is, so first use angles, है। ये देखिए, ये मैंने इधर से यहाँ से लगा देता हूँ कि क्या मूवमेंट आ रहा है क्या, तो जहां से मूवमेंट शुरू हुआ है, एंड आई एम प्लॉटिंग इट एट 45 डिग्रीज। देन
दिस
इसको,
इज अ 5 minutes चार्ट, राइट?
this is a 5 minute index we watch on 5 minutes, and then overlapping. So step number one is you go on this one, ठीक है? ये स्टेप नंबर वन है।
हम्म।
क्लिक किया और एंगल चार्ट लगा, ठीक है? 45 डिग्री पे लगाया। उससे क्या है कि आई एम ट्राइंग टू अंडरस्टैंड इज दिस अ शार्प मूवमेंट या शार्प नहीं है, एंड देन दिस इज कौन सा है ये, दिस इज व्हाट वी कॉल इज टिक 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 टिक, दिस इज व्हाट वी कॉल गैन फैन। गैन फैन नीचे, सबसे नीचे आता है इस वाले ऑप्शन, ऑप्शन नंबर 3 में। एंड देन व्हाट यू टू डू इज, वंस यू क्लिक ऑन इट, ensure that one by one, there is a one by one slash, मतलब वो 100% 45 डिग्री ओवरलैपिंग उस एंगल जो चार्ट पे ना 45 डिग्री पे उसको प्लॉट कर दिया। तो यू हैव दीज मूवमेंट्स, यू विल अंडरस्टैंड हाउ द मूवमेंट लुक्स लाइक। रीड द राइटिंग ऑन द वॉल। और कैंडल जो है, दिख रहे हैं कि नहीं दिख रहे हैं, वन बाय वन शुड बी लाइक दिस, इसको फिक्स कर दीजिए। एंड समवेयर हियर आई थिंक ठीक से दिख भी नहीं रहा है, इतने बार
हम्म।
मूवमेंट है। सो विजुअल ऑर्डर आई विल सेंड इट टू बैक, सी इफ आई कैन, visual order is right here. This is already gone. Candles, I am clicking and I am trying to say bring to front. Now you'll see, if you see the candles are here, look at a chotu candle, there is a red candle formed here,
यस यस।
which is hovering around this zone. If it starts moving in this zone, that means it is getting aggressive. समझे आप मेरी बात? It's getting aggressive.
हम्म।
It moves in this zone,
ओके।
means it is the movement is changing. So usually what happens when a sharp movement comes, it will move across this zone, say the highest zone. Then slowly
ओके।
it will change the movement. Then it will come in this zone. Then it will come in this zone. So these are zones. So when it is changing a zone, you understand it is like the movement is getting weaker, and hence it is a time to possibly shorten. Possibly there is a time. So धीरे धीरे नीचे
ओके।
करके तो ऐसा आपको समझ में आता है। सो ये एक अच्छी अच्छी चीज है जो कि आप,
ओके, सो ये जो ऊपर की तरफ जाता है, दैट मींस इट इज अ गुड टाइम टू बाय फ्रॉम दैट लेवल, इट माइट गो हाई।
हाँ मतलब बाय से ज्यादा पहले मैं जो वर्ड यूज करूंगा उसको डिस्क्राइब करने के लिए, दैट मार्केट्स आर गेटिंग अग्रेसिव ऑन दी नॉर्थ साइड और बुलिश साइड, या जैसे भी बोलिए, है ना? बाय करना है नहीं करना,
राइट राइट।
इट्स अ लास्ट डिसीजन, दैट्स एब्सोल्युटली लास्ट डिसीजन टुवर्ड्स द एंड ऑफ द कोर्स। उसकी चिंता हम नहीं कर रहे हैं, वी आर जस्ट ट्राइंग टू जज
ओके।
और रादर अंडरस्टैंड कि ऊपर जा रहा है नीचे जा रहा है और उसमें मोमेंटम क्या है। है ना. So what is
Okay.
velocity? Velocity जो है can translate into momentum, and momentum is essentially nothing but the strength of the movement. So how fast this is moving. Is it a strong movement? Strong movement, that means there is a flow of money, है ना. यानी कि वॉल्यूम शायद आया होगा. That means
Okay.
पॉसिबली बुलिश साइड पे पैसे बन सकते हैं. अब वो बाय करना है या सेल करना है, उस पर भी रुकते हैं, बिकॉज दिस लार्जली
Mm-hmm.
इनटू स्ट्रेटजी विच वी, है ना.
Okay.
ठीक है ना.
Mm-hmm.
जस्ट गिव मी 1 सेकेंड. जस्ट 1 सेकेंड. क्या
Sure.
ट्रेडर से भी बात करनी पड़ती है. जस्ट गिव मी 1 सेकेंड.
Sure.
सो गिविंग सम इंस्ट्रक्शंस ऑन द. ठीक है. सी, here we go. So I think for the next 1 week or so, simply learn to draw these uh, momentum based indicators. They help us in understanding. Now here you will notice that the momentum has changed. See, let me get this.
Mm.
You understand this one? Check this one. So initially, and this you plot with the first candle. The first candle that you saw in the morning, it
Yes.
gradually changes its angular movement, as you can see. Right?
Mm-hmm.
It is slightly getting weaker here. Getting weaker. So that's 1 day. Actually, essentially, this is 1 day. इसको देखना शुरू कीजिए. This will help. Yeah.
Okay.
And see, when it starts giving a side movement, you know that there is a resistance area somewhere here or maybe somewhere here, and those are short areas or shorting areas.
Mm-hmm.
When it is getting back into some other channel, you know that the movement has changed. You cannot think bearish now. So it helps you in aligning. It's like a Google map. It just helps you in aligning whether you should be going.
Okay.
ठीक है ना. I hope you understood. Right?
Yes, sir.
Next expiry. Okay, so
This is a 5 minutes candle and 1 day.
yes, 1 day, single day. So today is movement. This I'm showing on a historical
Yes. Okay.
plot of 45-degree angle. Come to the third option, third menu sort of thing, where you have all these options or these various options of plotting it. And if you call this ribbon, so the third option on the ribbon, this is the last option. I've just marked it as a favorite. Okay, now.
Yes, sir.
Now look at this one. So some days you may not get clear cut. Some days you'll get absolute. So as long as it keeps moving in this upper band, you really can't think negative. You can't go bearish on the markets. समझी मेरी बात?
Yes.
The moment it starts changing its track, which is shifting to the rightward, or it has a movement to the right, or it has sideways movement, you got to be careful. समझे ना? Yes.
So this is like this is in like a consolidation thing.
Yes. The upper thing, the right, this one is consolidation.
Right.
And
Okay.
it's getting weaker also because it has a dip. You know, when you come to the right, there's a possibility that you are also slightly, going southward. You're losing a momentum to the south side of it. So you're not losing momentum and still moving up. When you start losing momentum,
Mm-hmm.
it would start sort of falling or correcting or starting. Okay.
Okay.
I hope you understood. So this is also part
Yes, sir.
of market structure. So this is market structure. The other, that you know how to draw this, which is a previous day. That's also part of the market structure. So, for example, let me just pick up an example here. Somewhere here. Maybe here. Yeah. So this is the previous day movement. Now we figure out. So, say for example, I plot these lines here. Using the shortcut. Previous day and previous day. Now, if you look at this one, It drops below the previous day low. That means, so this is the PDL for previous day low. This is previous. If it drops below this line, that means it is getting weaker. If it gets back into the line, if it climbs the line, the previous day low, that means it's scoring better now. And this is the PDH. The moment you realize that it has not crossed previous day high, it is now facing resistance. So PDH is previous day high. Okay. And that is the market structure. It has exactly failed or faced resistance at this point in time. At this, once you realize this, or the traders realize this, sooner or later they realize it, they would start shorting it. आप समझे ना? Hope you understood.
Yes.
So sooner you realize, sometimes you'll be correct, sometimes you'll not be correct. But with experience, you'll start getting this feeling that, okay, now I've started understanding that possibly there is a resistance here. Okay? You wait for the cue. You don't get the cues all the time, but you wait for it. Okay. Likewise, you should also plot previous week high and previous week low. So you have the overall, understanding as to what was the range. So you are looking at yesterday's range, and you are also looking at the previous week's range. So week's range. So you have a lot of data points. Now the ranges could be the same as yesterday. It could be more or less, but I am assuming that the week's range would be bigger. So if this is the range, maybe this is the yesterday. So if this is the range of the yesterday, maybe the week's range is this one. So if it is breaching the week's range, the previous week's low, that means the sentiment is even more bearish. Okay. The previous week's high, that means the sentiment is getting bullish. Okay. So I hope
we have to see previous day as well as previous week also.
Yeah, previous week. So that these two things. So one, we looked at the lines that we drew here, which is the PDH
and PDL.
Yeah, and then previous week high and previous week low. So these are known as market structure. So that's one. That's one. And the second is, we were also looking at the momentum part of it, which wherein we plotted the angle, the angular movement, and the Gann Fan used in the manner that there's a lot of myth and crap sort of explanation around this one, that you can predict which day where the market will be. That is all crap. No one knows, especially in the world of computers and AIs. No one can tell you where the markets will be. Only money can tell you where the markets will be, right? So person who does not have, is not supposed to know or tell also. So use in this fashion, I find this convincing enough. If I'm not able to convince myself, then I don't use any of these, knowledge or indicators or whatever you call it. So if I am convinced, then I only use it, and I find some sense in this one. Okay.
And how much should we rely, sir, on these kind of these all indicators?
These are indicators, but it will give you sense. See, because you can something you can visualize. See, when it moves, a sharp movement is almost like a perpendicular movement. A consolidation like sideways, and you just is visual sort of interference or visual appearance, and added simple tools known as angle, because any movement can have an angle. It's an X and Y axis, and you can have a fan. So there is nothing new in this. This is not an indicator. This is, if you are watching it without any support or any indication, you still can plot visually, mentally. You can plot the angles here, and you know that the angle this place is lesser than this one. So a sharp movement, a fast movement, or movement that is always ever will have an angle which is at a more.
But any of the indicators, as in, like how accurate, I wouldn't be the right word, because nothing can be like 100% accurate. But how much can we rely on the indicators?
RSI, as you know, that you've seen the beauty of RSI. So to some, and your belief should not be more than 60-70% at the max. So there has to be a fear element of 30%. Is what I would say.
Okay.
So always have that fear that this may not. If you think this way, then I think it really helps.
I did some purchases, like purchasing some stocks last
I'll
week.
just hold
Last
the, just stop the, stop the recording.